We are back for the third last fight card of this year with the main event between Petr and Deiveson Figueiredo in Macau, China. There will be a total of 13 fights and we start with the opener, which is between Maheshate Hayisaer from China, who's 24 years old, and Nikolas Motta from Brazil, who's 31 years old. Maheshate is the favorite with minus 204 in average odds, and Motta is the underdog with plus 164. 69% of the Tapology community predict that Maheshate Hayisaer will win this fight and that he's most likely to win by KO or TKO. And 31% predict Nikolas Motta to win, also via KO or TKO. Maheshate is also the favorite in picks from the UFC Predictions Channels on YouTube. 35 out of 48 channels or 73% predict that he will win this fight, and 13 channels are picking Nikolas Motta. And of the best predictors over the last 5 months, the names in green with light green a return of investment of 5% or more, and dark green with a return of investment of 10% or more. 4 out of 7 pick Maheshate to win and 3 out of 7 pick Nikolas. For more information about the best predictors over the last 5 months, check out my 5 months results video. A link can be found in the video description below or at the end of this video or on screen now. The second fight of the prelims is between Xiao from China, who's 26 years old, and Quang from Vietnam, who's 33 years old. Xiao is a small favorite with minus 136 in odds, and Quang is a small underdog with plus 114. And the Tapology community is going against the odds makers. Only 31% predict that Xiao wins this fight, and 69% predicts that Quang wins. And most of the Tapology community predict that this fight will end in a decision. And most of the prediction channels agree with the odds makers. 26 out of 46 or 57% pick Xiao to win, and 20 out of 46 pick Quang for 43%. But when we look at the best predictors, they favor Xiao a lot. 6 out of 7 pick him, and only 1 out of 7 is picking Quang. The next fight is between Kavanagh from China, who's 25 years old, and Ochoa from Peru, who's 23 years old. is a pretty big favorite with minus 354 in average odds, and Ochoa is the underdog with plus 270. In picks by the Tapology community, is a really big favorite with 92%, and only 8% predict Ochoa to win, but most predict this fight will end in a KO or TKO. is also a big favorite in picks by the UFC Predictions Channels. 44 out of 47 or 94% pick him to win, and 3 out of 47 or 6% are picking Ochoa to win. And 7 out of 8 of the best predictors pick and 1 is picking Ochoa. Next up is a fight in the flyweight division between Carlos Hernandez, the 31-year-old from the United States, and Nyamjargal Tumendemberel from Mongolia, who's 26 years old. Carlos is the favorite with minus 190 in average odds, and Nyamjargal is the underdog with plus 154. And here again, the Tapology community are going against the odds makers, and not by a little bit. 84% predict Nyamjargal to win his fight, and only 16% predict Carlos to win. So yeah, I'm not so sure why he's such a big favorite in the Tapology community. But the YouTube predictors favor Carlos again. 28 out of 46 or 61% pick him to win, and 18 out of 46 or 39% pick Nyamjargal. And 4 out of 7 of the best predictors pick Carlos, and 3 out of 7 Nyamjargal. The next fight is in the women's strawweight division between the 22-year-old Xiaocan Feng and the 30-year-old Ming, both from China, for the road to the UFC Season 3 finale. Feng is a big favorite with minus 379, and she is the underdog with plus 275. Feng is a huge favorite in picks from the Tapology community. 93% predict that she will win, and only 7% predict that she will win. Most think this fight will end in a decision. And Feng is again a huge favorite in picks from the UFC Predictions Channels. 41 out of 44 pick her to win, or 93%, and 3 out of 44 or 7% pick she to win. And all of the best predictors also pick Feng to win. Next up is another road to the UFC finale between Sahota from England, who's 29 years old, and Choi, who's from South Korea and 25 years old. And this fight is almost as good as even in odds. Dong-ho Choi is a very slight favorite with minus 115 and Kiru is the underdog with minus 109. Although it's almost even in odds, Choi is a huge favorite in picks from the Tapology community. 86% predict him to win and only 14% pick Sahota to win. And most agree this fight will go to the decision. The YouTube prediction channels are more in line with the odds makers and it's basically even. 21 out of 41 or 51% pick Sahota and 20 out of 41 or 49% pick Choi. But when we look at the best predictors, we see a big difference. 5 out of 7 pick Sahota to win and 2 out of 7 pick Choi. If you enjoy the content and find it informative and helpful, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to help me get to 5,000 subscribers. I would appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. The last fight of the prelims is another road to the UFC finale between So Young-Yu from South Korea, who's 28 years old, and Balgyn Jenisuly, who's 28 years old, from China. Yu is the slight favorite with minus 141 and Balgyn is the underdog with plus 120. And here again, the Tapology community don't care about the odds. 74% predict Jenisuly to win and 26% pick Yu to win. Most of the UFC prediction channels also go against the odds and favor Balgyn to win. 24 out of 42 pick him for 57%. And 18 out of those 42 pick So Young-Yu to win. Of the best predictors over the last 5 months, 2 out of 7 pick Yu and 5 out of 7 pick Balgyn. Next we have a fight in the light heavyweight division between Ozzy Diaz, the 34-year-old from the United States, and Mingyang from China, who's 26 years old. Xiang is the favorite with minus 335 in average odds and Diaz is the underdog with plus 253. 95% of the Tapology community predict Xiang to win and only 5% predict that Diaz will win. And almost everyone expect this fight to end in a KO TKO. In picks by the prediction channels on YouTube, Xiang is a huge favorite. 49 out of 51 or 96% pick him to win. And only 2 out of 51 are picking Diaz, which are Cody and Paul, both from the Doggo Pass podcast. And all 8 of the best predictors over the last 5 months are picking Xiang to win. Next is another fight in the light heavyweight division between Volkan Ozdemir from Switzerland, who's 35 years old, and Carlos Ulberg from New Zealand, who's 34 years old. Ulberg is the favorite with minus 250 and Ozdemir is the underdog with plus 196. 80% of the Tapology community pick Ulberg to win and 20% predict that Volkan wins. And almost everyone predicts that this fight will end in a KO or TKO. Ulberg is also the favorite in picks from the YouTube prediction channels. 42 out of 50 channels or 84% pick him to win and 8 out of 15 or 16% pick Volkan Ozdemir. 6 out of 8 of the best prediction channels pick Carlos Ulberg and 2 out of 8 are picking Volkan Ozdemir. The next fight is in the women's flyweight division between Quang from China, who's 32 years old, and Gabriela Hernandez from Brazil, who's 31 years old. And Quang is the biggest favorite of this card with minus 883 in average odds. And Gabriela the big underdog with plus 568. And we see the same in picks from the Tapology community. 97% pick Quang to win and only 3% pick Gabriela Hernandez. And most predict that Wang will win via KO or TKO. The prediction channels on YouTube also agree. 49 out of 50 pick Quang to win or 98%. And only one channel picked Gabriela Hernandez to win, which is Brandon from the Santino DeFranco podcast, who is also 1 out of the 8 best predictors that pick her to win and 7 out of 8 pick Quang. The next match is between Kenan from China, who's 34 years old, and Muslim Salikov from Russia, who's 40 years old, in the welterweight division. Salikov is the favorite with minus 185 in average odds and Kenan is the underdog with plus 146. Here again the Tapology community go against the odds and 60% of them predict Kenan to win and 40% for Salikov. Most predict this fight will go to the decision. Salikov is a slight favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 28 out of 51 or 55% predict that he will win, and 23 out of 51 or 45% predict Kenan to win. Of the best prediction channels over the last 5 months, 6 out of 8 pick Salikov and 2 out of 8 pick Song. Want to stay updated with the latest picks and support the channel? Check out my Patreon and become a supporter. You get daily updates on YouTube predictions, odds and Tapology picks right up until the day of the fight. So check it out if you're interested. A link can be found in the video description. The second last fight of this card is in the women's strawweight division between Xiao, the 35-year-old from China, and Tabata Ricci from Brazil, who's 29 years old. Yan is the favorite with minus 182 and Ricci is the underdog with plus 156. 81% of the Tapology community predict Yan to win and 90% predict that Tabata Ricci will win. And most think this fight will end in a decision. Yan is also the favorite in picks by the YouTube prediction channels. 39 out of 53 or 74% pick her to win and 14 out of 53 or 26% pick Ricci to win. And the same with the best predictors. 6 out of 8 pick Yan and 2 out of 8 pick Ricci. The last fight of this card and the main event is of course between Petr Yan, the 31-year-old from Russia, and Deiveson Figueiredo, the 36-year-old from Brazil, in the bantamweight division. Petr Yan is the favorite with minus 319 and Deiveson Figueiredo the underdog with plus 245 in average odds. 70% of the Tapology community predict Petr Yan to win this fight and 30% predict Deiveson Figueiredo wins. And most predict that this fight will go to the decision. 44 out of 53 of the YouTube prediction channels pick Petr Yan to win, or 83%, and 9 out of 53 or 17% pick Deiveson Figueiredo to win. Of the best prediction channels over the last 5 months, 7 out of 8 pick Petr Yan and 1 out of 8 is picking Deiveson Figueiredo. Enjoy the very early morning fights this weekend, which is for most of my viewers. But I know many others will be very happy that they can finally enjoy the fights at a normal time, especially those living in Asia or Europe. Thanks for watching, have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one.